Hey guys, so I am so excited. This new Hunyuan, I think it's pronounced Hunyuan, video, which we thought was only going to be able to be available for, really high end GPUs. They've actually released if I could get over there, they've actually released a model that works on 16 gigabyte to 24 gigabyte GPUs. So if you notice, like this video, this took me like a minute and a half to make. This is honestly I'm going to tell you, this is the best software that I've seen. This is a video to video. I took this top one here. Let's see if I can find the dang play button, and it obviously it changed it over. It does the same thing here. I just changed it to an elf, and we've got the same sort of thing as well. This is the actual first uncensored open source model that I've seen, so you guys can freak out all you want, you dang perverts, on this. It's truly an astonishing technology that they've given us, and as I said, this is going to run on 16 to 24 gigabyte VRAM. So we're going to walk through in this installation here. We're going to show you how to get this going in your ComfyUI. Okay, we're going to go and we're going to have option to get both the FP8 and the BF16 models. The BF16 is a little bit higher. That's the one that's going to run on 24, and the FP8 is going to run on your 16. I found them both to do very good jobs, and this installation will take a little bit of time because these models are big, okay? But it's so satisfying. I'm honestly, I'm a little bit flabbergasted. I'm like, wow, because for the last several months, video generation has not been very good. Like, we got Cog Studio, we're like, yeah, it's all great, but it takes like 10 to 20 minutes to get anything. Like, guys, this stuff rips through fast, and it's amazing quality. I mean, it's incredible. It's incredible stuff. So we're going to jump into that. I'm going to show you how to install it. But before we do that, please do like the channel and share this with your friends. Just go up to some stranger and be like, you know what, I never talked with you before, but I wanted to ask you, what do you think about AI? Have you ever get going fast? And I'm sure that will open up all sorts of avenues of conversation. Also want to mention it is Christmas, which is why we got our Christmas tree over here, and this is a great time to get a membership on the Patreon site for your friends, because I'm telling you, I hang out with my buddies online all day long, and we work on AI, and it is way better to do with a friend, and it's really great hobby. So go over to the Patreon site and grab them a membership for Christmas, like $5-10. Like, you can go give them a $5 McDonald's coupon book where you can get them some free AI software to play with. So anyway, appreciate you doing that, and let's get on with the video generation. Yo. Alrighty, well, we're gonna pop over here to our browser, and this is actually the repository that this comes from, but guess what? We're not even going to deal with this, okay? This is the Hunyuan video thing. I believe I pronounced that right. I believe it's called Hunyuan, and I think that I read that it means like diverse circles, okay? So obviously it's a Chinese word. Now, if you scroll down, you get installation stuff down here, all for Linux, but which, by the way, if you were going to do it, you could just go over and get the Windows Subsystem for Linux package that I put on the Patreon site. It makes it so easy. But here's the thing. It's not that difficult of install. It'd be an interesting install to do. But, look up here. Requirements. You're talking 45 gigabytes. You're talking 60 gigabytes, okay? These are the full models. So don't even bother unless you've got, again, like one of these big A100 GPUs, which would be so sweet, but you're talking like $8,000 to $10,000 to get into that. Most of you probably aren't going to have that. So we're going to actually just take this repo and just grab them and go, man, get out of here. We don't need you. We will go over here and we can look at kind of some of the images that you're getting. Now, if you go to their Hunyuan video site here, You can actually pay money to do it, but it's like $10 a month, and you only get like 12 videos. It's when you log in, they give you 1 credit, but it takes 12 to make one, so it's kind of silly. But again, this is open source, so if you want to support them, if you got the money and you want to support them, I ain't gonna say nothing about not supporting them. But you can see the quality of videos, and look at, they're not prompted very much. River, water's rushing down a stream and pouring. Tactical soldier in futuristic body armor holding an advanced rifle. And I will tell you, as we go on, I have found that these short prompts actually do really good. Now, our videos aren't going to be quite as crisp as this. I really like this Attic Ghost. That's kind of cool. But they're going to be close. They're good. Okay. These are obviously going to be a little bit higher stream ones. Over here, you got this woman yoga. That's kind of showing you the not safe for work network. Now, obviously, you guys, if you want to, you could make her not have anything on at all. So this is the first. It's kind of a big thing, actually. All of these models, they're so like, oh my God, don't, prompt the word boob, or don't do any of that kind of stuff. And they really block you from any of this kind of stuff. And this is, it's always been kind of a thought, like, when do we get to just create whatever we want, because I like, not that I necessarily want to do certain things, but I believe that you should be able to do what you want to do. I think you should be able to do what you want to do. And so I like the idea of not having someone else tell me what I should and shouldn't do. This model is actually the first open source model that I've seen with video where you can pretty much create what you want. Okay, now I've only played with it a bit, and I haven't done a lot of pervy stuff with it, but I can tell you that you can generate boobs if you want, can do some cool stuff. I haven't been able to, this is kind of neat here, this melting dog. I haven't been able to do something like that yet, but like I said, I have been able to do some other groovy stuff. And so let's pop into that now that we've seen this. So before we go, what you need to do is you need to make sure that you have a ComfyUI installation. Okay, so you have to make sure that ComfyUI is installed. All right, now I do have installers for ComfyUI over on the Patreon site that you can grab. I'm certainly happy to help you get that. It's not that difficult to install. You just got to get this file here, you extract it, and then you're pretty much ready to go. But you're going to have it installed, okay? And then what we're going to, I do have over on the Patreon site, I do have an installer here. It actually looks like this, and then you'll just click it, and it will install into there, okay? I'm not going to go over that too much with you because we want to do the step-by-step installation, but I will tell you it is there. Let me go show you really quickly. We just can head to patreon.com/cognibuild. Good Lord, if I could type, that would be nice. And it just pops you over to here, and then you can scroll on over to down here, and there's the installer. So you can just click on that and download that into your file explorer, and then all you got to do is just double click this. It's going to ask you if you want to install both the big model, the 24 gigabyte model, and the 16 model, and then you're off to the races. Okay, you don't have to do the rest of this stuff, and then after that you'll just go ahead and click the run. Okay, so that's it though. So that's it for that. That's the easy way to do it. Just go join, you get a member, or you can just buy it and you're going within 30 minutes. Okay, all right, now however, let's pop back to our browser and let's go ahead and figure out what we're going to do. We know that we already have installed our ComfyUI. You got to have it installed, okay? And you're going to need the video manager installed too. So if you haven't gotten that, what you got to do is you need to do a Google search for ComfyUI manager, okay? You're going to need this because the directions we have and the installations we get, they're not quite accurate. We're going to need this manager to fix a few things. And what this basically does, it helps us to install missing nodes and fix stuff. You'll see this is what it looks like. Guys, if you're not using this in ComfyUI, you're not really using ComfyUI in my estimation. Down here, you just go to installation, and it's going to tell you to go to a certain folder and then git clone. that into there. So what we'll do is we will highlight that and copy that. Okay. Then we're going to go back to our File Explorer. Now, I'm going to go to a different installation that I have here. If I can find it. Hold on just one moment. Oh, good Lord. Sorry about that. Let's just click here, and then we'll go down here to Staging. Choop, choop, chomp. All right. So we find our ComfyUI folder, and then there's a folder called Custom Nodes. Okay. Now, mine's already got this in here. Okay, because if you get the installer from the Patreon site, it will install this for you. Okay, if you don't have it here, what you need to do is you need to go here, and then you need to right click, and you need to click on Open in Terminal. Okay, and that's going to open up a command line thing like this, and it will be in this folder. If you don't have the Open in Terminal, then what you need to do is you need to go into your command prompt, and you need to make your way there, and you do that by using CD commands. CD means change directory. So, you know, you would CD to your D drive, CD to your staging, CD to Comfy template, blah, 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 blah. Okay, but if you got Windows 11, you just got to right click and then click on Open in Terminal, and it brings you here. So what we would do is we would just right click, we'd press Control V to paste this in here, and it's using Git, which we all know is our repo software. It pulls down repositories, uploads repository. We're calling the command. We're saying what we want to do is clone something, and then we're giving it a directory. And we're saying we want you to clone this repository. Okay. Now, I've already done it, and that's why we have it here. Okay. So it's in there. You got to get this installed. If you're using ComfyUI and you don't have the ComfyUI manager, like I said, you're cutting yourself in half. Okay. It's just way easier to do stuff, and you're going to need it for this installation. So anyway, so we've gone through there, we have installed it, and then all you got to do is restart your ComfyUI, but don't even start it yet because we still got stuff to do. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to get the directions on how to install that. So I'm going to close this out. This is actually what it's going to look like when we're done. Okay, this is actually what we're going to get going. You'll see our manager is up here. But anyway, it's beside the point. What we need to do is we need to get over to this blog. So go to cognibuild.ai. Okay. Put a slash, and then you can go, well, you can just go to cognibuild.ai. And then you can go over here where it says blog. Okay. So click on the blog. All right. Now, we're going to look for this. It says ComfyUI Hunyuan video wrapper. Okay. So we're going to click it like that. Now, it's going to tell you this is the link to the ComfyUI workflow that you can download an FP8 model of Hunyuan. With an RTX 490, I've been able to create 6-second, 68-frame videos in 1.5 minutes, 161 frames at 5 minutes, which is true. This is so fast, and the quality is so amazing. It really is good. So this is your link. We're just going to go ahead and click it, okay? And it's going to bring us over to here. So this guy, this Kijai, he has gone ahead and made us a workflow. All right, so now he doesn't give a lot of instructions here. All he really does is tells you the files that we're going to need. So we're going to need the checkpoint files, okay? It's the transformer and the VAE files. We're going to need to get the text encoder files, okay? We're going to need to get the text encoder, the LLM text encoder. We need to get the text encoder. So all this kind of stuff. The clip. So we're going to do this all by hand. But first what we're going to do is we need to clone this. So this is a node, and we're just can click up here on, we can just go up here and let me see if you can see that or not. Hold on. We're just going to go up top, and yeah, you can't see that. Okay. And we're going to forget the part that says tree and main. We're just going to go grab everything to the left of it. Okay. And we need to go clone this into our ComfyUI installation. So we'll go back over to our File Explorer. Okay, and notice again, I've already had it installed because I used the one-click installer, the Get Going Fast installer. But what we would do here is the same thing that we did before. You'd right-click, you'd open it up in a command line like this. Where did that go? Oops, it's playing games with me here. Okay, and same thing with our custom nodes. So we would do the same thing. We go get, clone, and then we would paste that in there. And what that's going to do is it's going to download that into here, and it's going to create this folder. Okay, great. So now let's go ahead. We'll pop back to the browser. Okay, and we go for our next directions. Okay, so it says that we need to get these transformer and VAE, single files, no auto download. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to right click on this, and we're just going to say open link in new tab, because we want to keep this window open so we can get to it. We're going to go over to here and click. Okay, now we're over here. It gives us a bunch of options of what to do. All right, so we've got a few different ones. You'll notice the big ones here. These are our checkpoints. Okay, you got one that's 13.2 and you got one that's 25.6. So this is the FP8. That's going to work more for if you got 16 gigabyte VRAM. This is the one you want. Okay, if you've got a higher one, you got 24 gigabyte VRAM, you want to run this one. Okay, I'm going to tell you I run a 24 gigabyte. This one worked just as fast as this one for me, and to be honest, I had to do I did more frames with this. And it was like using 160 frames with this was pretty much the same as using 68 frames or something like that on this one. So even with lesser frames, this actually does work better. Now, if you're running a 16 gigabyte and you want to try that, you can do it, but you might end up waiting 10-20 minutes to get done in that. And to me, a video generator ain't worth it if it's taking you half a frickin' hour just to get 1 or 2 videos. Beautiful thing about this is you can pop stuff out in several minutes. So I timed this. I was popping out videos with FP8 and with 68 frames, I think, at 20 frames per second, I think 30 steps. I was popping out 3-second videos, maybe 5-second videos in a minute and a half. Not that long. Okay. Then I popped it up to 161 frames, and I made it about, so it was about an 8-second video, 9 seconds. It was taking about 5 minutes. Okay, that's still really good, and the quality was like, whoa. Okay, so but what we want to do is we want to figure out which one of these we want. So we'll go ahead and just assume we're going to do the FP8. Okay. This is the more accessible one. And then we have to find the VAE, which we need. So we're going to grab this one, this BF16 one for that. Okay, so what we do is this. Let's go ahead. I'm going to click to a desktop view here. Okay, and let me make sure I can see it. We can see everything. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to grab this one. Now you can do it for both of these. If you want them both, you can do it both. It's fine. So you just click the download file. It's going to bring up this and ask you where you want to download it. So now you go to your place where you've installed your ComfyUI. Okay, mine's under here. You can click on your ComfyUI folder. Then it's going to come in here and it says models. Okay, so you want to then grab this model, this folder that's called diffusion models. Now you'll notice I've already got it installed there. Okay, but you would just click save, and it's 13 gig. Look at that. I mean, hell, that's 13 gigabytes. That's going to take a little bit of time, okay, to download. But you go ahead and you put it in there. Okay. If you want to grab the other one, you could do the same thing. You just click the download, same thing. Find your way over to the models file, diffusion, and then see this is another installation I have that has that one in there. Okay, so same thing. Now what we got to do is we got to grab the VAE file. So if you're using the FP8, then you need to use this BF16. If you're using the BF16 save tensor, you need the FP32. So what we do is same thing. We just click on this, brings up this bad mamma jamma. We go to our installation. Okay, we do. Click on our ComfyUI folder. Click on our models, and then we go to VAE. Okay, here you go. And then you click save. Okay, same thing. I'll just go ahead and do it. That way it'll remember where it was. Okay, so, and then it'll start to download. Okay, same thing. If you're going to download the other one, you get this. So we're done here. We click back over. You can see it said here, download these into your diffusion models VAE. Okay, now we got to get this text encoder. Okay, so this actually ain't that difficult now. Notice that what it wants it wants us to go to this folder, and it's going to have us put it into a folder called LLM Lava Llama. You'll see. Okay, we're going to be able to just git clone this. We're not going to have to individually download this. If you notice, we'll go over to here. We'll go over to our installations, click on our models. Now, when you first go in here, you're not going to have a folder called LLM, okay? Again, I used the one-click installer, the Get Going Fast installer, and it created it all for me, okay? What you would have to do is go in here, and then you would right-click, you would go New Folder, okay? And then you would name it LLM, okay? So that's what you got to do, and you create that. And you can go inside of there, and you'll see that I've got a folder here. Look at same thing as this, Lava Llama 3 8B text encoder tokenizer. It's a folder. Okay, and that's the same that it has over here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to just click on this. Well, we might just be able to highlight it. Let's highlight it and copy it, but let's click over it just to look at it anyways. We're going to go open link, a new tab. It's going to open up over here. And is that the same address? Yeah, it looks like it is. Okay, so if we click on files and versions, you're going to see all the stuff that's in here. All right, so we need to get that all down, but we don't have to single download it. What we're going to do is, like I said, we're just going to go ahead and grab the URL. Then we can go back over to our LLM. Now, again, yours, this isn't going to be here, okay? So this will be blank. You'll have created the LLM folder. Then you're going to right-click, go Open in Terminal. Again, it's going to bring you to the folder you need. Now what we can do is we can go Git Clone, and we put it in there, okay? The URL. We hit Enter, and then it's going to create this. Now here's the beautiful thing, it's just going to download everything. And if we go back to our directions over here, if I can find them, you'll see that it said that they need to go in there exactly where it was. So when you git clone, it will create this folder for you, okay? See how it created that folder for me? So that's easy. All you had to do was git clone it, all right? Now, we got to go over here. We got to get our clip files. So for now, using the original clip files, only need the safe tensor from the weights and the config. Okay, so it's saying you only need certain files, but just for the sake of easiness, what we're going to do is we're going to, let me get rid of these. We're going to just go ahead and download the whole thing, okay, because it doesn't really matter. So it says that what we need is same thing. We're going to go into the clip folder, and then we're going to just basically, you see that says clip VIT large patch 14. See how that's also there? That we're going to git clone, it's going to create that folder. So if we look at over here, go back to models, you're going to see over here clip. All right, so there we go. So same thing. Let's just go ahead. Let's highlight this. Got to make sure you get it without, well, let's just right click on it. Okay, it's being a pain in the butt. And then same thing. We can just go up here and copy it, okay? You can take a quick look at it. And like I said, it was saying that there's some things you might not need. Who cares? Look at, they're all, you're going to need all the big stuff, okay? So anything you wouldn't need is like so small anyway. So let's just grab it, and we'll go back to our thing. So we're in the models folder, and then we click the clip. Then we're going to right click, same as we did before, open in terminal, okay? It's going to open this bad boy up. Same thing as last time, git clone, and then we go into Control V that into there. All right, same thing. It's going to go ahead and download. It's going to take a while because it's big. Okay, this stuff's is kind of a big software, but it's very cool. So now if we look at it, we can see that we've got everything. Okay, and it says memory use is entirely dependent on resolution and frame count. Don't expect to go very high even on a 24. So it's true. You go about 512 by 512 height by 320 width, or 320 height by 520 width is about, or 512 width is about as high as you can go. You can't even really do 520 without it crashing down. Like I said, I've got it up to 161 frames. So you can do a bit, but again, it's not der bomb, but it's still really good. So once you've done all this, okay, we cloned the repository. We put it in the custom nodes. Then we went into the models folder. We got all this stuff. We downloaded all that stuff. Now what we're ready to do is we're ready to actually go and start our ComfyUI installation. So what we're going to do, we're going to click back over to our File Explorer, and we're just going to go back to where we had this installed. Okay, this is where you've got your run NVIDIA GPU. This is where our installer was and all that kind of stuff. So we're just going to go ahead and click run NVIDIA GPU.bat. Okay, so it's going to go ahead and let's get you over so you can see it. It's going to start loading it. Oh, I've got a bunch of stuff open, so we'll see if you can only have one of these things open at a time, by the way. So we'll see if I have two of these loaded, we'll get an error, but that's actually good because a lot of people get confused by this error. So we'll see what happens. Hold on a second. And sure enough, here, you'll see this error here. It says only one usage of each socket address. Okay, that's because I had another version of it over here. So if we go to desktop, you'll see it. I had it up here. So we'll just go ahead and close that one out, close this one out, and then all we got to do is just restart it. Now it will go ahead and it'll load. Okay, I get a lot of people actually that come to me and they'll be like, I got this error, I don't know what's going on. I'm just like, yeah, it's because you got two versions of it open at one time. Okay, so this opened up pretty fast. Now you'll see up here it says, to see the GUI, go here. Okay, so we're going to left click and it's going to bring up the browser. Okay, now this is why we had to have our manager. So for whatever reason, even though we have gone ahead and installed the how do you pronounce it, the Hunyuan stuff, it doesn't totally recognize it. So you're going to get these errors. It's not a big deal. What we're going to do, we're going to click up here where it says manager. Okay, it's going to bring us up. This is why we had to install this. We're going to click on here where it says install missing custom nodes, and we're going to go yo. Okay. Then what we're going to do is you're going to see, so it didn't install the helper suite completely and it didn't install this. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and click install on that. Okay, we're going to let that do its thing. Then we're going to click this one. Notice it says restart required, but we want to get this one. So for whatever reason we download this, it's got an error. So we're going to click it and then we're going to click try fix. All right, and then same thing, it's going to fix it. Okay, now what we're going to do is I'm not even going to bother with the restart button because it doesn't really work. So what we're going to do is just click close. I'm going to close that window. I'm going to close these windows out. Then what we're going to do is go back to our command line that we had opened. And oh my Lord, watch what we're going to do. We're going to close it. Okay. So we just closed the server. Not a big deal. So now all we got to do is go back to our File Explorer and we'll just run it again. Okay, so it's going to pop up and it runs pretty fast. Do doobie doo, doop dap dop bop bop. Okay, so I thought it'd be done by now. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, so it's taking a little bit longer because it's got to reinstall the stuff. That's why I was like, why is it taking so long? But it's because we just updated those nodes. Okay, so now it automatically pops up to here. Now notice this is now working. Okay, but here's the thing. Mine opened up to the workflow because I had it preloaded. Yours will not open directly up to the workflow. You have to load it. So what you do is you go workflow, and you click open. All right. Hold on just a second here. Let me see if I can get a full view here. Okay, so we're going to go like this. So we're going to click on that workflow and then open, and then we're going to go ahead and go to where we have this installed. So mine's under here. Now the workflows, you can move these out, but they're kind of buried in here. So you go to your ComfyUI installation, go to your custom nodes, okay, and then here's your video wrapper. This is the one that we downloaded. So you click it, Now under examples, it's got your workflows. Here's your text to video. Here's your video to video. So you just click these. Now you can go like this. You could, well, you'd have to do it in another thing, but you could copy these and put them somewhere where they're easier to get to. But for right now, we'll just keep them here. You're gonna click this text to video, and then it opens up this, and it starts with, you know, high quality nature video of a red panda. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna put that in there. Okay, just whatever you want is gonna go here. This is your prompt. Notice it's gonna start you at 512, 320. Number of frames is 85. This is gonna take me about a minute and a half, although it'll probably freak out if I try running it with my video right now. So hold on a second, let's get this up. Let's fix that a little bit for you. All right. Now there's something else I want to show you here before we go. Notice up here, this is where your model is. Notice this says HYVID Hunyuan. If you hit Q prompt, which should be showing up here, hold on. So if you queued something right now, usually there's a little button down here. Sometimes it doesn't show up. It'll pop up the next time you load. You can also press Control and Enter to queue. But if you did it, you get an error where it's going to say it doesn't know where these things are. I guess let's go ahead and show you what the error looks like. I'm going to hit Control and Enter. Click on there. Okay, now notice it says prompt outputs failed. Okay, that's because it doesn't recognize these things. And you can always tell what the error is because it's red. So it's the workflow. It's not, the guy made some errors. I mean, hey, praise this guy for the work he's done. Yo, okay? Just saying, there's some errors in it. So what we do is we're going to click this little arrow and it's going to find the model. Now notice I can't even go back to the other one. So it preloaded with the wrong thing in there, but once you change it, it won't even go back. So then same thing down here, and it's going to do that. Now, if you had downloaded, notice it's going to load your one. If you had downloaded the other, they would both be there. Okay, you go ahead and set your prompts, and then you just hit and it'll go. Now again, I'm kind of afraid to click it while we got video on because it can really mess stuff up. But again, all you got to do is go down here, you put your prompt in, and it'll go, and it does not take long. You can you can left click on here, make that smaller if you want. However you bigger, you can click on it, put a number in there. I found with my 4090, this is probably about right, and I can push the frames up to 161. Now, the amount of time it takes is the number of frames divided by the frame rate. So if I've got 85 frames and it's going basically, this just means frames per second. Well, what is it? 24, 48, 72. So 96 would be the next. That'd be more than that. So you're only going to get a 3-second video out of this. But let's say I put this up to like 160. So I did that, and then say I made this 30 frames per second, and the more frames per second, the smoother the animation. But you'd have what, 30, 60, 90, 120, 150. So you have a 5-second video. Maybe you put it up to 180, or maybe if I don't care about the smoothness so much, I could take it down to 20. And then all of a sudden you got 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60. You got an 8-second video on your hands. So the length is the number of frames divided by the frame rate, and then brought down, averaged down. Okay, and then everything will pop up down here. Okay, now let's say you want to do your video to video, which is really cool. So I think, let me show you over here. Let me see if I can grab this again really quick to show you. Okay, so again, this is the top video up here is the original, and then I went ahead and changed the prompt, said I want an elf, and so basically they're basically doing the same thing, not perfectly, but basically. I got this video over here, which I absolutely love, this video of Santa riding a motorbike. Okay, so if you threw this into the video, we could put a bear riding a motorbike, or Taylor Swift riding a motorbike, whatever you want. Okay, girl in a bikini riding a motorbike. All right, and how we would do this is we would go back over to here. We'd click on our workflow. We just going to click on open. Same thing. It's going to pop us up over to here. Okay, and then this time we would grab the video to video example. Okay, so there you go. If anything red pops up, you just click your manager and install missing custom nodes. Okay, so over here what you do is you just click to choose video to upload, and you would go find the video that you want to do. Now I think the thing here is you've got to have a steady number. So you got to basically have a 6-second video, okay, to really get this to work. If you have a 7-second video, you're going to get errors. I don't really know how to explain it because I don't completely understand it myself, but I do know that basically you need a 6-second video. I think I used, again, this video here was my original. Oh shit, hold on, let's see if I could. Okay, and I made sure I had to work on it a couple times because at one point I had a 5-second video. Another time I had a 7-second video, and none of it was working. It needed a 6-second video. So you just get that in there. Same thing, you can mess around with your width and your height. Okay, with this one I'm not really certain that we're working with frames so much. You got your steps, all that, but again, you just everything's here. You just hit your control and enter to prompt it, or the button that should be here. You'll click and then it'll run through all this. It takes just a few minutes and it'll pop it all out under here. Okay, so that's actually really easy to do. That's really not that difficult. When you're done, you can just close out your command line. So this is your server where it's running from. Okay, so when you're done, all you got to do is just close your server. Okay, and then you can go ahead, close your browser. I'll close all this stuff, and then you're gold. And then if you want to run it again, all you got to do is go back to your File Explorer, and this time you'll just click Run NVIDIA GPU. So because we'll go ahead and here, watch, we'll run it again. But because we already had it set up, it will remember everything. So there you go. And then we click over here to browser. There, we're back. So it remembered where we were. It'll remember your prompt. So you don't have to do it all a million times. All right. So there you have it, guys. That is Hunyuan video. Okay, the circles thing. Really incredible image generation. Freak out with it, have fun. This is the closest to production level stuff that I've seen. Okay, so again, if you're doing real production stuff, you got to have stuff that's in like 2K and whatnot. You're not going to be able to get that out of here, but I'll tell you what, for the kind of stuff I'm doing, the hustles that I'm doing, I could make commercials with this. Okay, commercials are just 4-second clips on top of 4-second clips. You can easily do that. You can go check out the Santa thing I put together. I mean, I didn't even really spend any time on that. I just kind of threw it together, made some funny clips, put them together, went over to Suno, made some music to put behind it. I mean, it really, the longest thing about it was just kind of, I was using it to cut my teeth on learning this stuff. But you could put that whole thing together, I don't know, a half hour or something like that, maybe an hour. You know, would have had 10 videos on there, and yeah, and you just work. It's not that difficult to do stuff, and if you really put the time into it, then you could really make some cool stuff. So that is your step-by-step installation. Remember, you have to have ComfyUI installed. That is the key. Okay, later on I'll make an installer that will add ComfyUI. I have other stuff that I did that with this. I just wanted to get it into your hands really quick. If you do just want to get going fast, then I'm telling you, just head on over here to the Patreon site and you're ready to go over here. So you can just download it here. It's like $10 to join as a member, and then you get all the software. And we've been working on a lot of cool stuff over here. So in fact, yeah, we got the sauna stuff over here too. Installers if you want to get going with that, and all sorts of stuff. We got LTX. So there's actually been a lot of really good software coming out, and if you, when you join as a member, like, you get all of it. Okay, so it's like I'm like that guy on TV. I'm crazy, Al. I'm crazy. I'm giving it away. I must be wild, yeah, right? So have fun, and like I said, it's Christmas time. Go get your buddy one of this. Like, don't get him a little McDonald's gift card booklet. Who cares? You can eat a Big Mac any day. Get him into doing AI stuff, then you guys can have fun. Okay, if you have any questions, hit me up. I'm happy to help you. Okay, if I do help you on the YouTubes or whatnot, feel free to like buy me a little sticker on there. They got these stickers. You can pay $3 in. It's a way of saying thank you, scratching my back for me, because I am trying to spend as much time as possible doing this for you. And if I can pay the bills, then I can keep doing the work for you. I am your humble servant. So you guys enjoy yourself. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. We're going to have several more videos to talk about stuff. And in the meanwhile, I'm just going to wait to see you on the other side. Yo!